Hello, everybody. Welcome to Break On Through. We got one person in the house right now. I'll wait for a few more, man. Come on in. I got some stuff to show y'all. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Get this camera adjusted just right. Yeah, there we go. Hey, I like my new mood lighting. Captain Catastrophe. Did that box ever get there? Derek Giles, Bill Miskowitz, Stefan, Nikki. Man, now y'all are coming in. It's Mike Thrower. Marvin. Come on in, fellers. Got a lot to show, you got a lot to know, and it's time to go. It's 5 o'clock on Break On Through with your host, the unimpeachable President for life, the long-haired weirdo, Jeff Clayton. That's me. Elise. Hey, how you doing? James Payne. The Dean of Sods. Oh, man, I've been off for the last 6 days. It was rough going back to work today, but I got through it. Yeah. Robo Puff. You were working in New London today, Thrower. Yeah, well, check this out. Only me and Thrower and a few others on here know what that's about. Oh, you should have told me you went to New London. I would have given you my my cousin's address so you could have got your picture made at the plaque. Let me know next time you're going over there. All right. Well, heck, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Happy September 8th. It's actually cooled down here a little bit. Got my jar of hibiscus and weightless tea. I'm a jar short. Broke one in here the other day. Now, me and my wife each got a little shard of glass in our foot. Can't get it out. That's good stuff right there, I'm telling you. Well, hey, today was a very, very good mail day. I don't mean M-A-L-E, I'm talking about M-A-I-L. Not against you ladies, I'm sure you ladies had a good day too. But it was a good mail day, and I'm going to show you some of the things I got in the mail. First of all, from the great city of Portland, Oregon. You know the city I'm talking about. It's a little fiery, but peaceful. From Anchor Print, from my main Mang, Dean Miles, I've got what is going to be the last batch of the ANTiSEEN Taking Names notebooks. Oh yeah. Man, if you're living here in North Carolina, they're not going to make any decisions about, things opening back up and stuff till way after October 3rd, probably. So, I mean, if your state is like that, man, you get you when you go around looking at all the people with no mask. Oh, yeah. Writing them down. Put their addresses on Facebook. You know, civic duty stuff. Name taking a... You know, the greatest thing about ordering something from Anchor Print is it the extras that Dean sends. I mean, like when you guys order from me, I think for the most part, I include just some extras and stuff in there, you know, to make it package getting even that much more wonderful. God damn. I opened a box of 80 of these with a note from Dean, along with a Gene Simmons figure. He made me my own little Kiss notebook, or I mean, maybe he had some, but he gave me one. And previous order, a Terry Funk program, which, yes, Dean, I did get the Funk program. A Chopper book. Y'all know who Chopper is? Uncle Chop Chop. And so yeah, Anchor Print. Out of good old peaceful Portland, Oregon. Then, from the wilds of Newtown, Connecticut. Y'all ever heard that song, Newtown, by the Slits? That's where Malcolm lives, Newtown. Now, you know, Malcolm Tent is now, not only is he our bass player, I had somebody on here ask me recently, hey, do you know Malcolm Tent? Anyway, not only is he our bass player, but he is minister of propaganda. What does that mean? That means I'm not the only one coming up with stuff to put out anymore. And look at what Malcolm has delivered. Oh yeah, ooh. That's beautiful in any home. Any home, anywhere. Man, if you brought this in, framed, and you had a hammer and a nail, and you told the wife you're going to hang this over the mantle, man, she'd see that. How could she say, oh, no, you're not? She'd see that and go, oh, yeah. She goes, why don't you see another one and see if you can hang it on the ceiling of the bedroom? So, look at that. I have these available soon. And of course, you know, if you order a bunch of stuff from me, I'll toss one of them in there. And I'll sign it if you want me to. It'd be hard to get all of us to sign them. Malcolm, you should have signed some of these before you sent them. Excellent. Excellent. All right, this doesn't benefit you, but it benefits me. My main mang, Zach Hembray. I got this shirt from Rusty Knuckles. Finally got it. I can wear it in stores like this. Thanks, Rusty Knuckles. Thanks, Zach. Yes. All right. Here's something I'm really excited to show you guys and tell you about. How about ANTiSEEN? Well, Nikki, that would be difficult because 3 of us are in the great state of North Carolina. But one of us is in the downtrodden, fiery but unpeaceful state of Connecticut. And I'm not going to drive up there and do that for one picture. But what I'm really excited to show you guys is, first of all, I'll ask you a question. Do you know about a fella named Russ Ferris. I think I'm saying that name correctly. Ferris. Russ Ferris. Well, if you haven't, you're going to be hearing about him real soon. He is a fantastic artist. I was turned on to his stuff by the boys in Before I Hang. One of my other main mains, Joel from Before I Hang, sent me a print of Mr. Ferris's work, where it was the Kiss Destroyer record cover, but they were apes. Now, does he know how to pick something for old JC or what? Well, let me show you something. Oh, yeah. You're saying it was just a logo. It's kind of a weird logo. You guys have always had just a stupid, weird logo. But you can read it. But that's going to be on top of something. We're doing a split single with Before I Hang. And this split single is going to be a 10-inch record. Oh, yeah. 10-inch. Mastered at 45, so it'll be good and loud. And it's our very first rock opera. It's called Guyana Grape. And it's broken down into 3 segments. Love is the only weapon. Last hymn. Legacy. You want to see the cover? Russ just sent me the cover, the original painting for the cover today. You ready? Is that a masery or what? Cannot wait for this single. Be our first ever split with Before I Hang. We don't do splits much anymore. We don't like them. But we're glad to be doing one with Before I Hang. They've been allies of ours since the early 90s. Let me see if there's anything else I got to show you before we start with our history lesson. I guess that was it. Yeah. Did any of you watch Malcolm's shoot interview with Tom O'Keefe? It was really good. I really enjoyed it. I'm really liking hearing these other guys' recollections. You know, you can all talk about the same story, but remember different stuff, and I'm enjoying that myself. He has recorded with Steve Sadler, I think. He's recorded with Phil Keller. And he's gonna record with our road dog, Brandon Robinson. That'd be a really cool perspective. Someone not into band, it's just, you know, right there with us during all these ups and downs, kind of watching it all. But okay, so last time, before we go any further, I have to say something. Last week, I talked about the very strong possibility of getting the Young brothers a grave plot and a plaque to mark them, to have a place in their hometown where everyone can go and pay their respects. So, I got a very, very good response from all you guys, and I appreciate that. But please, do not send any money yet. Okay? I'm going to work on, we're going to find out what we need, and then we're going to work on having a separate account than the ANTiSEEN one to collect all the money for it. You know, we'll keep you guys posted. You know, this, even if we get this going pretty quick, it can still take quite a while, especially for the plaque. But I'm thinking we raise the money, we get it done. When it's time for the plaque to come in, we have like a kind of a plaque unveiling ceremony there at the cemetery. So I'll keep all of you posted. Don't worry. You know when it's time to let you know some old JC is on the ball. All right. So history. When I left you last week, Joe passed. Gooch had joined and done 3 shows. Mad Brother Ward is now the guitarist. I also told you that we were kind of stuck in a 30-song ditch that there was just no getting out of. With this new lineup, though, it's not uncommon for someone from outside the band to come in and know our catalog better than we do. Because as I've told you before, man, I don't sit around listening. I mean, like, when we're working on something, I'll listen to it. Like, I really enjoy working on the reissues, because then I kind of have to go listen to it. And it's been years, so it's kind of like listening to it for the first time. Sorry, y'all. It's at 4:30. But Russ and Gooch both knew the back catalog really well, and in an incredibly short period of time, our list of songs that we played live, I think, was up there in the 70s. We didn't. Of course, we didn't play every one of them, but you know, we ran through them and got through them enough to where if we had to, we could. So we were kind of like in a new stage of productivity that we had not been in quite some time. And I guess we were all anxious about how people were going to perceive us now. You know, when you make a new step forward like that, I guess there's going to be a little bit of apprehension, but I was excited. I mean, everybody's got their favorite lineups of any band, and we're no exception, you know. And I know there were a lot of Joe fans out there, and I know a lot of them it wasn't going to be the same for them anymore. Understandable, but we weren't going to let that stop us, and And now I think this phase of the band has gained a lot of fans of it, and we have up to date, man. We've been the most productive that we've. Excuse me, man. This is so rude to me. We've been, more productive than we've been in the 5 or 6 years prior, and it really feels good to be that way. You should see how much stuff we got going on now, man. We start something and then something else comes up. We put that on the back burner. We work on this until it's ready. Then we bring that back, and it's all the time. And it's a good position to be in. And so, like, almost immediately with this lineup, we started recording. We recorded a split single on Rusty Knuckles, the label that just sent me the Zach Hembree shirt. They put out the split single of ANTiSEEN and He Who Cannot Be Named from the Doors. Each cover done by Ryan Almighty, doing some of his infamous blood paintings. Or I sent a vial of my blood, and he did our cover, and he pulled a vial out of Pete from the Doors, Miss Clayton's home. Hey, huh? And came up with a really, really great record cover. And the Bowman brothers, John, that was previously in ANTiSEEN, and his brother Jordan, we all went to Tremont Music Hall and recorded If I Had $1,000, which was originally written by Rupture, and our original called Let the Working Man Rest a Little Bit. And I was real happy with the way that single came out. And everything was smooth then, because we, keep this in mind, we had demos for these, or we had other versions of these already. So Gooch heard these and could play them. So we haven't gotten to the trouble spots with him yet. Man, I guess I'm just gonna buzz right through the ins and outs. Like, I've kind of sped through the history, I think, going really fast. But then there's, in my thumbnail version, there's still tons of stories go in them, and there's no way I could sit and just remember them all. So I'll go ahead and tell you what all happened. It's like, we toured with the Meat Men. We touring all over the place and playing lots of shows. This lineup went to Japan for the first time. But I noticed when we went to record Obstinate that it was a little like, I'm figuring with this lineup getting the old catalog brought up to speed as quick as they did, that, churning out records was going to be like, we're going to be like it was in 92, 88, 89, all that, like that, just putting out something all the time. But it didn't quite work out that way. We were productive, but we kind of noticed that when it was time to record Obstinate, then keep in mind, these are songs that have never been on anything before. We're writing these. It was a little bit of a struggle. when you play drums for ANTiSEEN, it's there's room for you to do some stuff, you know, but if you can't play 4/4, it's hopeless, because that's the primary root of what we do. And we found ourselves having arguments about, well, that's just, you know, plain old 4/4, you know, this, that, and we're like, you ever heard ANTiSEEN before? There's not a time to start trying to make the drums a lead instrument. Not in this band. But Obstinate came and went, you know, and then something we were all really proud of. I'm proud of it to this day. And then a few singles, and where we really noticed a huge problem is when I came up with the idea. Actually, I think it was kind of me and Mad Brother Ward came up with the idea. We were going to do this. We call it an EP, but the damn thing was 7 songs. It's an LP by any standard, and no, it was like, yeah, it was 7 songs. But we wanted to do a tribute record to some of our friends that maybe their records didn't get out beyond, you know, the areas where they are from, or if they did, you know, not much. And we just kind of wanted to expose these bands, you know, to another audience that we figured could be theirs, if, you know, eventually. And this was something that we should have been able to do in a matter of weeks. You know, 3 or 4 weeks picking the songs, learning them, working them up. And then, you know, once it's all scaled down to what you're gonna do, we should have spent about another 2 weeks really honing it in. But man, this thing took almost about a year. There are all kinds of reasons, but I guess Gooch had been in long enough now where he figured he was a decision maker. And what that boils down to is it's pretty much a council of 2, and then there's one decision maker. And you know who that is, don't you? So, we were having a hell of a time getting him to play these things. Like we would play the songs one way for 3 or 4 weeks, and then, you know, it comes time to record it. He starts playing a completely different way. Like the sounds like completely different. And you're saying, what are you doing? Oh, that 4/4 sounds lame. Lame. Yeah, something sounds lame, but it ain't the 4/4 beat. I'll tell you that right now. Now, put it this way, man. His playing, he was such a pain in the ass to record this thing that we messed up the recording of the song, the cover we did of Fred Kirby. We asked him to come back to play his part. It was so bad. As soon as he left, they erased his part and Barry played it. We never brought it up. We're just like, you know, let's get things done in a quick manner. And like that Christmas record, they would have never come out if he were still in the band when that was done. Never. Now, I'm not going to make this a Gooch slam session because I'm going to tell you what was good about Gooch now. On stage persona, couldn't top it. He was a character. Energetic as fuck. Great to travel with. You know, some people aren't cut out for that long traveling. He was a perfect passenger. At times a really funny guy, and you know, like it's like anything. The bad happens, but there's good in there too, you know, and we had a lot of fun on the road. But then he came to Charlotte, and we kind of tried to offer him this family, which he didn't seem to want to partake in. Instead, he got involved with a very, I'll go ahead and say it, a very disgusting group of people, in my opinion, that this city has to offer. And that's what he wanted his world to be. And a lot of craziness, a lot of insanity, a lot of drugs, and then it started to spill over into what we were doing. He's going around, you know, saying stupid shit like the police think he's a serial killer. All this kind of crap. 15-year-old boy crap. And don't get me wrong, he had a lot of bad stuff happen to him during this period. Stuff I wouldn't wish on anybody. But man, most people bounce back. And that's harder for some than others, okay? I accept that. But the people he got mixed up with, the things he was doing, he just... I mean, I don't know how much of the man's personal business I need to bring into it. I'll just leave it at that. He lost his fucking mind. Thinking he was being monitored by police in the sky and all this stuff. And eventually, I told Barry and Russ that before we go to work on anything else, that I'm going to sit down with him and have a talk and tell him that this nonsense that he pulls on us every time we go to record, like he wants ANTiSEEN to be a drum circle or Santana or something, that he's going to have to give it the fuck up or get the fuck out. That's where I was. And the more this shit was going on, the more I was way leaning toward get the fuck out. Well, one day, we're supposed to be at practice. The Friday. I was first one there, which is rare. And I went in and I noticed all of his stuff was gone. And I don't mean just his drum stuff. I mean everything. Mic stands, mics. He had a guitar amp there. All kinds of stuff. It was gone. Now, would you take all your equipment home knowing you had practice the next day? No, you wouldn't. Would Gooch? Yeah, he might. So, the boys got there, I told them, look around. You know, they kind of, I said, everyone, let's just sit down and let's wait. And when practice time is here, and he's not here, we'll call him. I think the official start time at this point was 6. Six o'clock. We all get our phones. Text him. Where are you? Question mark. Where are you? Then Barry's phone rang. It was his mom. And she told us that Brian was no longer in the band. "36 years and I've never had anyone's mom quit for him." I did then. Well, we have a tour booked in 3 weeks. With the Obsessed and I Hate God. Not only is it going to be a fun tour, it's going to be a lucrative tour. A lot of people have put a lot of resources together to make this thing work and to have us be part of it. And what are we going to do? Call right there at go time and say, oh, we can't do it? Nope. Right then, all of us were putting out calls at the table. We were calling everybody we knew. We were texting everybody we knew. First, we were thinking drummers. We need to get a drummer to do this thing. But then, I think Barry was the one that said, you know, look, if I got to go back to drums for this tour, then I'll do it. So now it's a much easier situation. We got to find a bass player. And you know, if you need a bass player, you can find a guitarist to play bass. But man, we're going, you know, this is really cutting it close for just about anybody. I mean, there's plenty of people that could have done it, but they needed more than, you know, like maybe 2 3/4 of a week's notice. So I knew a bass player. From Danbury, Connecticut. Malcolm Tent. Been there pretty much since the beginning, like '85. I just threw it out there. Would you be interested in doing a tour with us with the Obsessed and I Hate God on bass? And I don't think there was a, like my text goes bring, and I think I came back bring, yes. So enter Malcolm Tent. Now I had some reservations about putting Barry back on drums. I really like Barry out in the front with me and Russ. But judging from the reaction we got from the audience, a lot of people were happy to see Barry back on the kit. And I'm not going to say anything else really about Brian Gooch. Except, you know, when I tell stories about when I talk about this lineup from now on, I'll be telling you stories as they pop up. Like when I start, I'll probably do a whole show about Japan. You know, stuff like that. Like now we're pretty much right. Like we're in real time pretty much now. Only, I think Malcolm's been in a year. Maybe 2. I don't know, Malcolm. What is it? 2 years? 1 year? You gotta tell me something. But that's that. Clayton, why did Barry stop drums in the first place? Oh, because we lost a bass player. And the first place we ever saw Barry play is when he played bass for Bloody Mary. So we at that point, we put Barry in the file of when we need a bass player, we'll call Barry. But turns out he was an incredible drummer, which he did for us for 8 or 9 years, I guess, before he took a leave of absence. But the death train may stop for a minute, but engines never go off. It's always poised and ready to go. I hope you enjoyed this week. Like I said, it was kind of in a nutshell, but as we move forward, you know, I'll be talking about different incidences and tours and shows and records and association with other bands, stuff like that. Sometimes we may talk about something completely off subject. Well, I mean, yeah, you know, why don't y'all PM me, not on the ANTiSEEN page, on my personal page. Write me some messages and ask me about some stuff you'd like to hear explained. But next Sunday, I think it's part 2 of Malcolm with Tom. So don't miss that. Is this lineup in pen or pencil? Man, this lineup's in Sharpie. We're having too good a time with it. Never stop moving. I may do an emergency break on through on Friday or Saturday, because I may have something in hand. Well, Jimmy Repo is going to do some go live on the Repo page at 6 o'clock. So if you got some minutes to kill, go over there and watch old JP. Gavin, I've gone over how we ended up on TKO before, but I can go over that again sometime. It's a bit of a lengthy story. It's not something you can sum up in a few sentences. But you do what you do. You know what you know. You may have to break on through. Then it's time to go.